Welcome back. Now let's go ahead and finish our row, how it looks like. And so far we only had the text that we displayed after we looked at lambda expressions as well. Now let's have another text which will display the quantity. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to say the text should not be item name, but it should be quantity, so QTY colon, and then item dot, and here it will be quantity. Okay, like so. And then we need to finish it with a quotation here as well. I also want to have a modifier with 8 density pixels. And then next to it, I want to have another row, which is going to have 2 buttons. There's going to be this row inside of the row, and it will also have a little bit of extra padding, which is why I'm using it. So here I'm going to say modifier will be modifier dot padding, and that will be 8 density pixels. And then the row itself will have 2 icon buttons. So there is this thing called icon button. It's like a button, but it has the appearance of an icon. So an icon button can have an on click event, on click, and it should do on edit click. So basically whatever we pass to our shopping list item as code should be executed once we click on that icon button. Now the icon button, first of all, we need to import the icon button, and secondly, we need to pass an icon to that icon button. So here we can just pass an icon. Let's import icon as well, like so, Alt Enter, and I'm going to use the composable icon. And now this icon needs to have an image vector, for example. So there are different ways how you can go about it, but I'm just going to use an image vector, which gives this icons default dot edit. So there is this thing called, well, this property called image vector, and it requires a type of image vector. And now this edit is going to return an image vector, which basically is just an image, which is very efficient in the sense of how much space it requires. So inside of Kotlin or Android Studio, we have, or inside of the namespaces that we have imported, we have the capability of using a bunch of buttons. So you can play around here and see what kind of buttons you have. And you can also see how they look. So you can have the edit button, the add button, the count box button, list, and so forth. There are plenty of icons. Not insane amounts, but still. The most important ones like search and send, refresh, play, all of those are in there. And the one that I'm going to use is going to be edit for the edit button. And then I also need to pass another parameter, which is going to be the content description. And I'm going to just say null. So I'm not going to add a content description. Now you could add a string again here and say this is the edit button of any given row, but I'm going to keep it simple for now. So now the other thing that I want to have is another icon button just underneath, and it should execute on delete click. And now the icon that I want to display is going to be the delete icon, which is just going to be this little bin. And that's pretty much it. That's already our user interface for how such a row item should look like, because we now have the quantity, we have the name, and we have the 2 buttons, which is exactly what we wanted to achieve, right? So let's rerun our code and see how this is going to pan out. So let's add an item, and let's add a mouse again. Let's say 1, let's add, and we see we have mouse, quantity 1, and we have the 2 buttons. So this edit button and this delete button. Now currently they don't do anything. We still need to implement those, but that's something we will take care of later on. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we're going to go to the editor. So this here, once I click on this edit button, you see a little other UI pops up, and that's the one that I want to build in the next video. So see you there.